You got big problems in a Chinese drywall condominium complex because there's nobody there paying the maintenance fees. So you got a big problem as far as upkeep's concerned. And that's why these units are selling for $20,000, $40,000, $60,000, because it's going to cost you on a 2,000 square foot, it's going to cost you about $80,000 in a condo to fix it. And now you got $120,000 in it, and it's really only worth about $200,000, and you don't have anybody else making the monthly payments as far as the maintenance fees are concerned, because half the places are vacant or two-thirds of them are vacant. So what you have is you have groups that are investors that are going in and buying up these units so they can fix them all up at one time and rent them out and turn the association around, which is a good thing. But you still got to look at the value. They're investors. They see the upside. They're going to rent it out, and they're going to look later on at selling it at an increased value. In 2, 3, 4 years, the market will come back. That $400,000 unit may sell for $280,000 to $300,000. Let's just say $250,000 on a low end. They'll still be able to turn a profit, and they've had the write-off, and they've had the rental income for it during that time period. So it's an investor's game here right now as far as value is concerned. But what's that doing for the consumer? The guy that bought the house, it's upside down in the house right now. What about the guy that paid $400,000 for his house, and it's worth $100,000 or $200,000, and he's got a mortgage for $300,000, and he's living in a Chinese drywall house? What does he do? He's getting a 6-month moratorium on his payments. You know, boy, let's go out and celebrate. Let's have a party. The truth is, really not doing anything for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So if a homeowner is already severely in the red, what do they do if they discover they have a tainted drywall?
Well, my clients are pretty savvy. They're hardworking people. It's very difficult for them to declare bankruptcy. It's very difficult for them to, fail to make their payments. They have a real hard time swallowing that pill. They're blue-collar workers. They've worked hard for their money. They're either retired or they're still working, or both, retired and having a second job. And it's just hard for them to say that this is what I got to do because I can't continue going down this road. I'll be in bankruptcy, so I have to walk away from the house. And it's just killing them because they feel they're ruining their credit, when in actual reality they're going to give it back to the bank. They're going to do a short sale on it. And the way the short sales are set up, if you go to YouTube, there's a great explanation on YouTube about short sales. The bankers are all complaining they're losing money. They're not losing money. The way a short sale works is you and I, as taxpayers, are reimbursing them through this game that was bail them out, and the banks, let's just take a bank. It goes out. You got a bad loan. It's a short sale. The short sale's $200,000. The house was originally a $400,000 loan. So what do you think the short sale is? Not based on the value. It's based on the original loan. So that difference, if they sell it for $200,000 and the original loan is $400,000, the bank's not coming up short. According to the game plan, they're getting 75% of that shortfall. They're getting paid. Well, that means that they're getting $300,000 for the house. Well, where's the loss? There is no loss. In some of these deals, these short sales, the banks are actually making money because it's not based on what the loan amount is. It's based on what the original loan amount was. So you got people that have paid mortgage payments and paid down on their loan, and they paid down on the original loan to get it where it is. So the banks are actually making money. I encourage you to go to YouTube. There's 2 guys that do an explanation. I've checked it out. It is a great deal. I wish I had that website here. I'd give it to you. But YouTube, do the mortgage scam thing. It'll explain it to you. It's a very interesting step-by-step explaining to you what a short sale does and who's making money. And I can assure you that the banks are not losing money on short sales. Yet they're not doing them. I don't understand.
Maybe you can email me the links to those videos after our interview.
I'll be more than happy to.
Great, thank you. So what are banks doing when they take possession of foreclosed properties that have drywall issues?
They're selling them as is. They're smart characters. They're not going to list it with a real estate agent and do a disclosure statement and do all that, because then they got liability. Then they got exposure. Remember, we're talking about bankers. They're professionals at having no exposure. They're professionals at having no risk. So they're taking it back and they're putting it out as is, which simply means caveat emptor, buyer beware, all those little terms. You're buying it as is. So if you don't check it out and you don't find out, that's too bad. You got no recourse on the bank because they disclosed that they were selling it as is. It's up to you. The monkey's on the buyer to make sure that they know what they're buying. And they have to know what the value of it is and everything else involved in it. And there are a lot of bank sales out there right now, or Chinese drywall. People think they're getting deals on because they were listed, at one time for $400,000 or $500,000. All of a sudden, I can buy it for $250,000. Well, you're still buying a pig in a poke because it's going to cost you a lot more to fix it than you think it will.
Where did the insurance companies enter into this?
That's a great question. Homeowners' policies are not paying, period, end of discussion. They say that they have a pollution exclusion, a defective material exclusion. They're not paying for this repair any way, shape, or form. The only state that I know of you can possibly get an insurance company to pay for it's Louisiana. And they're fighting that right now left and right, but Louisiana laws are different than the rest of the states. I'll let a lawyer explain that to you, but they have some different nuances to their laws as far as insurance coverage is concerned on property. But bottom line of the deal, insurance companies are running for cover. They're avoiding it. I think the builder's insurance company, I think the installer's insurance company, I think the supplier's insurance company, I think they all should be chipping in and paying in the food chain, and I think the homeowner's policy should pay to make the person whole, take care of the problem, and then subrogate to the other insurance carriers to get their money back. That's the way insurance was set up as far as recouping money. Homeowner's policy. Almost every damage, every claim, whatever it may be on a homeowner's policy is subrogated to the insurance company, and they either pay it because it's a loss or they go after another party to recoup their money. In this particular case, I think the insurance companies from the homeowner's policy should pay to have the house abated, treated, and fixed, including relocation of the people for the 4 to 6 month time frame it takes to do it, and then they should go after the other insurance companies to become whole themselves and let them deal with it. In the meantime, the consumer is getting back to his normal life. And that will actually help our economy, because now we have a lot of people going back to work in the construction industry taking care of fixing the problem of the Chinese drywall. We have the insurance companies who are the best at getting money out of each other, subrogating to collect their money. And we have everybody back at work and happy and healthy living in their houses. So I see it as a win-win. It's a silver lining. If it's handled properly, it will help take our economy and put it back on its feet. And it'll take quite a bit of time, which is what we need. We need more than just a little shot in the arm. We don't need a stimulus package. We need a serious transfusion. If they force the insurance companies to subrogate these loans and take care of it, you will have a transfusion. You will see a major change in our economy. You'll see the construction industry come back to life, and it will be a driving force, as it always has been, and it'll be a positive driving force because you'll be taking all these houses off the market. You'll be putting people back to work fixing these houses that are sitting vacant